So, welcome everyone to our weekly Bhagavad Gita class. Thank you for taking out your precious time and coming to attend this Gita class. We are continuing our discussion from Bhagavad Gita as it is. We are on second chapter, and we were on, I think, 56th verse. Which verse we were on? Anyone remembers? Haji? Okay, we'll continue from 55th verse. This is a very, very important, interesting section of second chapter where Arjuna has asked 4 questions to Krishna. Sthita pragyasya ka bhasha samadhisthasya keshava sthitidhi kim prabhasheta kim asita brajeta kim. So Arjuna has asked, Krishna, can you please tell me the symptoms of a person who has perfected his life? That means he is connected to you, Buddhi Yoga, who is always conscious of you. Can you please tell me more about this person? How does he talk? How does he walk? How does he roam around in this world? How does he speak? That means Arjuna is asking, can you please tell me what is the language of this person? That means how he receives insults and praises. How he controls his senses. How he moves around in this world which is full of temptations. Very, very important questions applicable for a practicing devotee. Because all of us will be facing all these things. Sometimes we'll be insulted, sometimes we'll be praised, we'll be tempted, we'll be in the world and some things will come up in front. So these are very important questions. So Krishna is now going to answer these questions. We'll recite 55th verse. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Prajahati yada kaman Sarvan Parth Manogatan Atmanyevatmanatushta Siddha Pragyastaduchyate. Translation, somebody can read?
The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, O Bharata, when a man gives up all varieties of desire for gratification which arise from mental concoction, and when his mind, thus purified, finds satisfaction in the self alone, then he is said to be pure transcendental causation.
Prajahati. Jahati means gives up. Prajahati means completely gives up. What does he give up? Kaman, the desires. Which desires? Manogatan, the desires which come from the mind. Prajahati yada kaman sarvan parth manogatan, the desires which are created by the mind. So this devotee, he gives up all these desires, whimsical, material desires. And in this way, atmanyeva atmana tushta, he finds satisfaction in his connection with the Supreme Lord. Satisfaction in the self, as Prabhupada writes. This person is sthita pragya. This person is a man of steady consciousness. So in this verse, Krishna is giving a sutra to happiness and satisfaction. How one can be happy and satisfied in all the situations of life. So he says, the first question was, what is the general characteristic of this sthita pragya person? So he says 2 characteristics. Prajahati yada kaman, he gives up all desires which are manogatan, which are arising from the mind. Because all the desires, they come from the mind. All the desires, they keep coming. Mind has 3 functions: thinking, feeling, and willing. Mind keeps on creating desires. So people, they do so many things to be happy. They try to keep on getting newer and newer ways in which they can be happy. But unfortunately, happiness, anything you get in this world, all the happiness becomes stale after some time. If somebody goes to a comedy show, one time if comedy show, oh, looks good, maja aaya, bahut hase. If you go to the same comedy show again, same jokes, अभी क्या फायदा, अभी तो वही same bore हो गए वही सुन के. So therefore anything new of this world becomes pale. And therefore, all the people, they try to get newer and newer ways in which they try to experience happiness. It's because happiness, that is our root characteristic, Sat, Chit, Anand. But happiness is never a product, it is always a byproduct. If we run after happiness, we will never get happiness. But if we try to do something to serve others, serve the Lord, in our connection with the Supreme Lord, that gives permanent happiness automatically. That is the happiness of the soul. The happiness which you derive from the body, mind, intelligence, senses, they are temporary happiness. But we have to go to the deeper aspect of happiness. Trying to get happiness which is coming from the soul, not the material desires happiness. The desires, they give happiness. If we fulfill the desires which are coming from the mind, they give little happiness. But that happiness doesn't last. So therefore, sense pleasures of this world may give happiness, but that is very little. That is insignificant happiness. So therefore, Krishna is saying this personality, he is not looking for the happiness which is coming from the sense objects, because that is temporary. It doesn't give lasting happiness. When we expose ourselves to the various stimuli which we get from this world, it titillates our senses and the mind for some time. In the beginning, oh, maja aaya. But that maja doesn't last long. So therefore, Krishna says, this personality, he looks for the happiness within. Atmanyeva atmana tushtam. He finds happiness within. That means in his connection with the Supreme Lord. That happiness is permanent. Atmanyeva atmana. There is another verse which comes in the 5th chapter. Anta sukha anta arama tathantar jyotirevayah sayogi brahma nirvanam brahma bhutodi gacchati. So this personality, the spiritualist, anta sukha, he tries to find happiness within. Same verse. Atmanyeva atmana tushta. So this is a consistent theme in Bhagavad Gita, in all the Vedic literature. Don't search out the happiness in the world. Try to connect to the Lord who is there within our heart. Nitya siddha Krishna prema sadhya kabunoye shravanadi shuddha chitte karage uday. The love of God is there in everyone's heart. But now we have lost the access. How many of you have been to villages where you have to use hand pump? और गांव में 4-5 महीने नहीं गए, 1 साल के बाद गए तो हैंड पंप से पानी नहीं निकलता है, तो क्या करना पड़ता है? जोर लगाने से नहीं निकलता है, ऊपर से पानी डालना पड़ता है ना? Similarly, but pani is there. There is a huge reservoir of water underground, but still we can't access it because there is a vacuum in the middle. That vacuum we have to fill. Then the water will come out. So therefore, the propensity to experience the eternal happiness is there in everyone's heart. Nitya siddha Krishna prem. It is there in everyone's heart. But now there is a vacuum which is created. So क्या करना पड़ेगा? पानी डालना पड़ेगा. कौन सा पानी डालना पड़ेगा? श्रवण कीर्तन जल. We have to put the Shravan and Kirtan, chanting, hearing. कहाँ से डालना पड़ेगा? Not through the mouth, through the ears. These ears are very special organs. Through the ears we generally hear, but through the ears we can see also. We see the world through our ears. That is called as Shastra Chakshu. Make scriptures your vision. Don't try to see the world through your eyes. Try to see the world through the scriptures. What Bhagavad Gita says about this. We can even taste through the ears. How to taste? Nigama kalpa taror galitam phalam shukmukadam ridravya samyutam pibata bhagavatam rasamalayam. Drink this nectar of Bhagavatam. How to drink the nectar of Bhagavatam? Through the ears. So this ears can be used to taste also. We can hear, we can see, we can taste, even we can smell through the ears. There is a one verse in Bhagavatam which says, Jighranti karna vivare shrutivata nitam. Jighranti, please smell the aroma of the lotus feet of the Lord through your ears. How can we smell through the ears? The air should be there. What is the air which carries the aroma from the lotus feet of the Lord? That is scriptures. Scriptures, they carry the aroma of the lotus feet of the Lord. And that air enters ears. When we hear, then we can smell the aroma of the lotus feet of the Lord. So that is very special thing about the ears. Please try to hear. So therefore, drink this nectar of Harikatha, drink this nectar of Bhagavad Gita, then slowly all the things of this world will become stale. They will not look attractive. Currently, they look very attractive. Anything on television, on the media, on the advertisement, it looks very, very attractive and glamorous. It quickly catches our attention. But the more we connect to the Lord who is within, we will lose attraction for the things of this world. It will happen for sure. Any of your friends and relatives have told, आप बदल गए हो, पहले ऐसे नहीं थे, अभी कुछ बदले बदले लग रहे हैं, पहले तो हमारे जैसे थे, रेगुलर वाले, कुछ तो गड़बड़ हो गया है, something has gone wrong. साथ में बैठते थे, साथ में गप्पे मारते थे, मूवीज की चर्चा होती थी, इधर उधर की बातें होती थी. अभी तो आप जब भी देखो हरे कृष्णा जपा भी माला लेकर बैठे रहते हो. क्या है, थोड़ा घूमने चलेंगे, थोड़ा मूवी चलो, नहीं जाना ही नहीं है आपको, कुछ तो गड़बड़ है. वासुदेवे भगवती भक्ति योगा प्रयोजिता जनयति आशु वैराग्यम ज्ञानम च यद अहेतुकम. ज्ञान एंड वैराग्य comes naturally. If none of your friends are telling that आप बदल गए हो या फिर कुछ तो चेंज हो गया, मतलब कुछ तो गड़बड़ है आपका. You are not practicing spirituality sufficiently. अगर कोई भी आज तक नहीं बोला है कि मतलब हाँ ठीक है हमारे जैसे ही हैं, कभी कभी जाते हैं वो हरे कृष्णा टेम्पल, अदरवाइज सेम है, that means गड़बड़ है कुछ. That means you have not practiced sufficiently enough. कुछ तो और करना पड़ेगा. Otherwise vairagya has to come. Attachment has to come. And when we connect to the Lord, it gives great satisfaction. In front of that, everything of this world becomes pale. One time there was a great devotee of Lord Shiva. He prayed to Lord Shiva and Lord Shiva appeared. He said, I want a benediction. Please give me the best thing what you have. He asked Lord Shiva. So it is in Vrindavan. So Lord Shiva said, nearby there is a very great saint living. His name is Sanatana Goswami. Please go and ask him. He has something very, very precious. So he went and asked. He said, do you have something precious stone? So Sanatana Goswami said, yes, there is a Chintamani. Chintamani means anything you touch, it becomes gold. Any metal. Kahan pe? I want that. Oh, that is lying in the dustbin. Dustbin? He said, yes, you go and check there. He went there and he found the Chintamani actually. He went to Sanatana Goswami and said, can I take this? He said, yes, take. So as he's going, he thinks, well, if this Chintamani is lying in a garbage, that means he must have something better than Chintamani. I want that. So he goes back to Sanatana Goswami and says, do you have something better than this Chintamani? He said, of course. Can you give me that? Sanatana Goswami says, for that you have to throw away this Chintamani in Kusum Sarovar. Just imagine if you have Chintamani with you. And Sanatana Goswami बोलेंगे, I have something better. Throw this Chintamani. कितने लोग फेंकने के लिए रेडी रहेंगे? Nobody. बोले यार हाथ में चिंतामणि तो है, पता नहीं साधु महाराज क्या करेंगे बाद में. But this person had that faith. He had faith in Sanatana Goswami. He threw the Chintamani in that Kusum Sarovar. He came back and he said, "Can you please give me that thing which is more precious than Chintamani?" He said, "Yes, of course. Please come near." And in his ears he said, "Please chant with me. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare." कितने लोगों को लगा अच्छा वो फेंका नहीं? But actually, Chintamani is nothing in front of holy name. Nama Chintamani Krishna, Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha, Purna Shuddha, Nitya Mukta, Abhinnatvat Nama Namino. So we have to understand, the more we practice this process of Krishna consciousness, the more we will realize what we have received. So Prabhupada writes, the Bhagavatam affirms that any person who is fully in Krishna consciousness has all the good qualities of the great sages. And a person who is not transcendentally situated has no good qualification. So that is the power of devotional service. All the good qualities, they naturally manifest in a devotee. You don't have to endeavor to develop good qualities. It comes automatically. So this devotee, what he does, Krishna is saying that this devotee, he rejects the external pleasures. External pleasures are easily available. You hear something, some Bollywood, some movie, some news, some cricket, some food which is available on the roadside, some nice food shop, easily available. But a devotee is very careful. No, I will not entertain all these easily, readily available sense pleasures. Atmanyeva Atmana, I will try to find happiness in inner self. That means in spiritual subject matters. That's the difference between a spiritualist and a materialist. A spiritualist tries to find pleasure in spiritual subjects. There are two kinds of literatures. One literature which is full of material knowledge, the material news, novels and all that. And there are spiritual scriptures also. Bhagavatam describes that all the material literatures, they are the pilgrimage place for the crows. You know what is the pilgrimage place of crows? कहाँ पे जाते हैं कौवे सब? In the garbage yard. That is the pilgrimage place for crows. Vayasam Tirtham. Vayasa Tirtha means pilgrimage place for crows. Na yatra hamsa niramantya sikshaya. The swan-like devotees, they don't take interest in all the other literatures. So as a practicing devotee, we have to be really careful now. What we are hearing, what we are seeing, which movies we are seeing, which videos, which songs we are hearing. We have to be really careful. We may be thinking, kya farak pad raha hai? It is all same, right? And I am chanting also. So, kabhi kabhar, kya farak padta hai? Farak padta hai. It affects our consciousness. So, we have to be really very, very careful what we are putting in our senses. A spiritualist is always careful. What they see, what they hear, what they eat, what they taste, smell. Very, very careful. So in the initial stages of our devotional practices, we have to take the external stimuli and those stimuli which are only favorable for Krishna consciousness. Chant the names, hear kirtan, take darshan of the deities of the Lord, take prasad. And in the perfected, pure devotional state, external stimuli is also not needed. It's like many times when we go to temple, we feel spiritual. We feel, wow, aaj to acha laga. Darshan kiya, kirtan kiya, we heard the class. It was a good experience. For a pure devotee, it doesn't have to be in the place where externally some spiritual things are going on. He is rejoicing within. Atmanyeva Atmana Tushta. In his heart, Krishna Katha is always going on. In his heart, Krishna Kirtan is going on. He is always chanting. Just like it is said that Arjun While sleeping also, with every breath he would chant the names of Krishna. Krishna, every breath. अपना उल्टा होता है. वो सोते सोते जब करते थे, हम जब करते करते सो जाते हैं. So in our state, at least we should try to surround ourselves with spiritual stimulus. Atmanyev Atmana Tushta is a very far stage. At least we should begin. Don't put anything in our senses which will take us away from spirituality. That is very important. So Prabhupada writes, artificially the sense desires cannot be stopped. If somebody says, आज से कुछ नहीं सोचेंगे, आज से I will not desire anything wrong, next moment some desire will come up. Don't think of a red-faced monkey. आप लोग क्या सोच रहे हैं? Whatever you say, I will not do, that thing will become more prominent. That's the nature of the mind. So today, from today onwards, Adhik Maas is starting, very auspicious month, most auspicious month in the Vedic calendar. So try to make some commitments, some resolutions. I will try to chant more, or I will try to increase the quality of my chanting if we are already chanting 16 rounds, or there is no scope of increasing my devotional number of chanting, at least increase the quality. I will try to be attentive as possible. I will keep the distractions away. एक हाथ में मोबाइल और दूसरे हाथ में. So that will not happen. वो भी रोने लग गया. ना स्ट्रिक्ट मत बोलिए. नहीं तो कैसे चलेगा अपना जीवन? And devotees, they try so many things to be attentive. Yesterday morning only, I think today morning only, I was seeing one devotee was chanting. क्या हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण. मैं बोला था क्यों थप्पड़ मार रहे हो भाई अपने आप? You know, some devotees, they do all different type of expressions. One devotee is saying हरे कृष्णा डांस क्यों कर रहा है? So all these different types of things, at least try to be attentive, try to be alert. That is very important. So external, internal, we have to be very careful. Externally, be careful what we are surrounding ourselves with. And internally, so internally we have to try to aspire, to develop that consciousness. Just like Madhavendra Puri, we heard about Madhavendra Puri's story some weeks back, how he was just absorbed meditating on the form of the Lord. He didn't have to surround himself by some externals. He would sit in one place, lonely place, and be absorbed. Atmanyeva Atmana Tushta. That is the devotee. So therefore, Gita wisdom describes that we are not against pleasure. We are all pleasure seeking. We are happiness seekers. Spirituality does not mean that आज से हंसना बंद. We have to be serious, you know. आज से मैंने क्लास में सुना, I have to become a serious devotee. Serious devotee मतलब आज से बिल्कुल हंसेंगे नहीं, एकदम मुंह बना के बैठेंगे. घर में कोई बोले क्या हो गया, नहीं, I am serious devotee. आज से हंसना बंद. Serious doesn't mean that you don't laugh or smile. Devotees, they are always happy, they laugh, they smile, but they derive pleasure from right things. They don't derive pleasure from the things of this world. We are searching for the pleasure in the wrong place. One time a person, he announced that I have this daughter. He was a king. He announced that his daughter is very beautiful and I want to marry my daughter to a very, very powerful person. So he said, okay, I'll do something. He devised a plan. He made a lake full of crocodiles. And he said, anybody who crosses this lake full of crocodiles, I will give my daughter in marriage to that person. तो कौन करेगा इतना हिम्मत? सबको अपनी जान प्यारी है. Suddenly he saw one person jumped inside and somehow crossed also. And he was so very happy. Oh, great. Oh, man, you were so courageous. Congratulations, I'll give you my daughter in marriage. He said, वो सब बाजू में पहले बता मुझे धक्का कौन मारा? So person, if he doesn't know what is there inside, then later he realizes गलत जगह में आ गया भाई. So we are trying to find happiness in the wrong place. One time a person lost his ring, diamond ring, and he was searching in one place under street light. So his friend asked, क्या हो गया? ले नहीं अंगूठी गुम हो गई. किधर गुम गई? वो उधर. तो यहाँ पे क्यों ढूंढ रहा है? इधर लाइट है ना. So we are trying to find that ring of happiness in the wrong place, क्योंकि यहाँ पे लाइट है. This world is stamped by Krishna as दुख आलय. बोलने में भी डर लगता है. So this place is not the place of happiness. There is a drop of happiness and ocean of pain. If somebody is really thirsty, निर्जल एकादशी आने वाली है. नेक्स्ट डे निर्जल एकादशी 6 बजे पारण टाइम रहता है. एंड यू आर रेडी फॉर नींबू पानी. रात भर आपने मेडिटेट किया है, भगवान पे नहीं, नींबू पानी पे. कब सुबह होगी, कब नींबू पानी पिएंगे. समटाइम्स ऐसा ही होता है. नए नए जब शुरू करते हैं एकादशी करना, we don't think about Krishna, we think about Nimbu Pani. And as you are standing in line to get your Nimbu Pani glass, and somebody gives one drop of Nimbu Pani, इतना ही मिलेगा. देखिए क्या इससे क्या होगा? I was thinking I will get few glasses of lemon water, and you are giving me one drop. So that is the problem. And that too, if that drop is not Nimbu Pani, that is neem juice. So that is the problem of this material world. Happiness is promised like, अरे इतना सारा happiness, all the billboards, all the advertisements, all the movies, and you live happily ever after, and they were there. Nobody in the billboards look miserable. आज तक कोई दुखी देखा है? दुखी वाला billboard क्यों है? नहीं, that is a reality. Nobody is showing the reality. And मिलता तो है one drop. That too, not the way we expect. कुत्राशिषा श्रुति सुखा मृगतृष्णि रूपा क्वेदं कलेवरमशेष रुजां विरोहा निर्विद्यते न तु जनो यदपीति विद्वान् कामानलं मधुलवै शमयन् दुरापै. Prahlad is telling to Nrsimhadev, he said, "Oh my Lord, where is auspiciousness? Ashisha, where is auspiciousness? It is all Shruti Sukha, सुनने में अच्छा लगता है. It is like mirage in the desert. Mrig Trishni Rupa. Happiness is promised a lot, but what we are delivered is drop. Kamanalam madhulavai, the blazing fire of desire, and one drop of the desire, sense object is put. क्या होगा? So that's how we have to be really careful and understand, at least intellectually, there is no need to indulge. The whole world is advertising indulge, enjoy, and you will be happy. But Bhagavad Gita teaches us nothing of this world can give enjoyment. It is so very difficult to accept it. But the more we read it, slowly mind starts, सच में होता है क्या? हो सकता है, पता नहीं. It is very difficult to convince the mind and intelligence. At least theoretically we should understand this and start practicing it. Then slowly mind will give up this desire to enjoy. It is a long way. At least begin. So there are various types of feelings and desires which come from our mind. One is anti-spiritual desires. Anti-spiritual means those which are completely against our spiritual practices. All are anarthas: lust, anger, greed, pride, envy, illusion. Anti-spiritual. Try to curb them. Try to minimize them. There are some desires which are spiritualizable. That means we can there is an English word, dovetail them. Dovetail means we can utilize them in Krishna service. For example, if somebody is a manager, he can dovetail his desire to manage some of the projects. If somebody is an artist, okay, please paint for Krishna. Prabhupada engaged all the painters. If somebody is a singer, sing for Krishna. Somebody is a great cook, please cook for Krishna. Spiritualizable desires, dovetail. And there are some desires which are actually spiritual. I want to chant more. I want to hear Krishna Katha. I want to hear Gita, Bhagavad. Try to do that also. So Prabhupada writes in this that all the great qualities they manifest in devotee. Chaitanya Charitamrita describes the story of a hunter. His name was Mrigari. One time Narad Muni was passing through a jungle and he saw many animals were lying half killed and they were really suffering in pain. So Narad Muni, he felt compassion. He cured them. He had that mystic power. And as he was curing these animals, a hunter came out from behind the tree and said, oh sage, what are you doing? This is my livelihood. Why are you making them all right? Narad Muni said, who are you? He said, I am Mrigari, the great hunter. Why have you killed these? You have killed these animals half? He said, yes, of course. Why are you killing them half? Kill them full. That's the way my father has taught me. And when I see these animals dying in pain, that gives me joy. So Narad Muni said, do you know what is in store for you? He showed this Mrigari what will happen after he dies. He showed all these animals, they are waiting for him in hell to tear him apart. And he became really scared. He said, oh Narad Muni, oh great sage, please do something. I don't want to suffer like this. Narad Muni said, okay, I have a solution. Please give up all your killing business. How will I maintain myself? Don't worry about that. I will arrange for your livelihood. You just sit in one place and chant the names of the Lord always. And this Mrigari, he accepted the instructions of Narada. Gave up his killing business. He became a very wonderful, good personality, full of compassion. After some days, Narad Muni again came with his friend Parvat Muni for follow-up. Follow-up के बिना कुछ नहीं होता है. सब जगह follow-up लगता है. So Narad Muni comes for follow-up. And he tells Parvat Muni, today I am going to, one of my disciples. Let's go, he tells Parvat Muni. So as they reach the Kutiya, the ashram of this Mrigari sees, oh, Gurudev has come. He comes running and on the way he is jumping. So this Parvat Muni is amused. He said, why is he jumping on the way? So Narad asked, what is this? Why are you jumping on the way? He said, there were some ants lying. They were crossing the road. I didn't want to kill them. I didn't want to step on them. So he says, just see, few days back he was killing animals half. Now he is not ready to kill even ants. That is the glory of practicing devotional service. Yasyasti bhakti bhagavati akinchana sarvair gunais tatra samasate sura. Yasyasti bhakti bhagavati. If somebody practices bhakti to akinchana, to Supreme Lord, akinchan bhakti. Akinchan means I don't want anything in return. Sarvair gunais tatra samasate. All the good qualities of devatas, they manifest in that person. Otherwise, if somebody is not a devotee, all his good qualities, they can't take him beyond the miserable material world. Ultimately, he'll be in this material world only. Even if somebody has good qualities, Either the qualities will not last in tempting situations, or these qualities will not help him go beyond the cycle of birth and death. What is the use of this? So therefore, this devotee who is Sthita Pragya, Krishna says, he gives up all material desires and he tries to satisfy himself by connecting to the Lord who is within the heart. And that's our practice also. This is a perfected stage, but at least in our stage, we should consciously try to do it. Surround ourselves with the impulses which bring us closer to Krishna. Otherwise, it is so very difficult in this world. Your mobile is sufficient to distract us from spirituality. You open YouTube thinking that भागवतम क्लास सुनेंगे, भागवतम की जगह कोई और ही क्लास चलने लगती है. New movies आ जाती हैं, pop-ups are so many, and unconsciously we start seeing other things. We don't even realize when we get into the trap of all this social media. So we have to be really careful, not get distracted. We have limited time available with us. And this 1 month, it comes once in 3 years. So in this 1 month, we should train ourselves to become more and more strong in the practice of spirituality, bhakti yoga, so that we can keep on doing it remaining year of life, remaining year also. ऐसा नहीं कि एक महीने ना प्रभु जी हमने साल भर की भक्ति कर ली है, and आपने तो बोला ही था कि results are multiplied thousands of times. So in this whole Adhik Maas I chanted 16 rounds. So that next full year, remaining full year, choti, we are not doing business with the Lord. Because if we do business with the Lord, Lord will also do business with us. One person goes to Krishna and says, "Oh Lord, for you what is 1 million years?" He says, Lord says, "For me, it is just 1 minute." He said, "Acha." He said, "Oh my Lord, and what is 1 crore for you?" He said, Lord said, "For me, 1 crore is like 1 paisa." He said, "Oh Lord, can you give me your 1 paisa?" The Lord said, "Can you wait for 1 minute?" So you can't cheat the Lord. If we do business with the Lord, Lord will also do business with us only. He will not give pure devotion. He will just give something which is not so important. So we should be careful. What do we want from the Lord? Spiritual Krishna consciousness means transforming our desires. Before coming to Krishna consciousness, what people want, if we say, "Oh, कितना भाग्यशाली व्यक्ति है," what is the definition of भाग्य? किसको भाग्यशाली बोलते हैं? Outside world, who is called as भाग्यशाली?
Someone who is rich.
Who is rich or
Beautiful.
who is beautiful, who has good wife, husband, family, who has fame, who has opulence, who has followers, good children, जो सुनते हैं. When we come to Krishna consciousness, exactly opposite things are taught to us. In the outside world, dhanam janam sundari kavita. धन चाहिए, जन चाहिए, husband, wife and followers. यहाँ पे आके तो न धनम, न जनम, न सुंदरीम कविताम वा जगदीश. Because that is the real wealth. All the wealth of this world doesn't last long. They are not actual bhagya. The more we connect to Krishna, the more we realize, Kacham vichinvan napi divya ratnam swamin kritarthosmi varam nayache. What I was looking for was broken pieces of glass. What I got is diamond. Who said this? Dhruva said this. When Lord appeared in front of him, he said, "Dhruva, ask for a benediction. What do you want?" He said, "I don't want anything." I've realized that what I was looking for was broken pieces of glass. So that is how Krishna describes that this person, he looks for the happiness within. Now, the second question Arjuna had asked, what will this Sthita Pragya person say when he is put in disturbing situations? How he will respond? So Krishna is answering that in next two verses. What he speaks is described in 56th verse. What he doesn't speak described in 57th verse. We'll recite 56th verse. Dukkheshu anudvignamanaha Sukheshu vigatasprihaha Vitaraga bhaya krodha Sthitadhir muniruchyate. Translation somebody?
One who is not disturbed in mind even amidst the threefold miseries, or elated when there is happiness, and who is free from attachment, fear, and anger, is called a sage of steady mind.
So interestingly, if this verse describes about speech, where is speech here? There is no mention of speech in this verse. It is all about how this person deals with the things of this world. Because the speech is determined by our thoughts. What we think become our words. What we speak, that decides our actions. Our actions, they become our character. And our character decides our destiny. So it all begins with thought. So Krishna is describing the mental situation of this person who is disturbed by thoughts, by words of others. How he retaliates, how he responds. Dukkheshu anudvigna mana. His mind is not udvigna, is not disturbed in distress. And sukheshu vigata spriha. When he is in happiness, he is not elated. Veet means he is free from three things. Rag, bhay and krodh. He is free from attachment, fear and anger. Such a person is sthitadhi muni. Such a person is a person of steady mind. Sthitadhi muni. So that's how a person, he behaves with all these words. Sometimes people, they may speak very sweet words, very polite, but they may have some duplicitous nature. They'll speak nicely, but internally they may be having another thoughts. They may speak, oh, you are so wonderful, you have such a big car, nice car, you have such a good house, and internally, I want you to beat to death. Why you have this car? Aapka chehra dekha hai. You don't even deserve to have this car. So externally they may be saying, oh, you are such a nice person. Internally, different. So Krishna, he describes how a person should actually speak. He describes in the next verse that. In this verse, he describes the mentality of this person. He says, this person, he is not agitated, he is not angry, and externally he smiles. Dukkheshu anudvigna manaha. Udvigna means who is agitated, who is disturbed. Udvigna. Anudvigna means who is never agitated or disturbed. So therefore, this devotee, he is never disturbed in any situation of life. In Srimad Bhagavatam, there is a story of a great king, Bharat Maharaj. And he lived his whole life nicely, then he renounced the world and he went to forest, do tapasya. Somehow, unfortunately, or by some nature's Lord's arrangement, he became attached to a deer. I'll not tell the whole story. And then one day, as he was in the jungle searching for his deer because deer didn't come back, he fell down and he remembered deer. And in the next life, he became a deer. But in the deer body, he remembered his past life. That I was a king, now I have become a deer. That's the power of devotional service. Of course, this is an exceptional story because the devotee will never become an animal. This story is told to describe the power of attachment. How I should be very careful. Even if somebody is like Bharat Maharaj, he can also get distracted. So anyways, as a deer, he was very careful, and then in the next life, he became another Brahman. And his name was Jad Bharat. As Jad Bharat, he was very careful because as Jad Bharat now, he remembered his past 2 lives. He remembered how I was a deer in my last life and how I was Bharat in my last to last life. I was a king of entire Bhumandal. So he would behave like he was a dumb man. He was a mad person. Because he was thinking, if I'll take responsibilities, then I'll get again implicated. They will get me married, and then I'll have to enter family life. Then I'll have to take care of so many responsibilities. I'll get distracted again. He behaved as a dull, dumb, mad person. His family members, they would put him in fields to take care of all the grains, all the crops. They would give him all the burnt rice to eat. He would be just standing there like a scarecrow, chasing away all the animals and the birds. He was completely unaffected. One time, there was a dacoit king, and they were searching for a person who is either a Brahman or a king, because they wanted to do a human sacrifice to Kali. They found this Jad Bharat in the fields and they thought he's the nice person. Although he was not given anything nice to eat, but still he was a very strong and stout person because he never discriminated. Ye acha hai, ye bura hai. He would eat whatever he would get. Burnt rice, all the stale food, whatever they would give him, he would eat. So all these dacoits, they bound him, took him to the temple of Kali, and they fed him nicely before cutting his head. And he ate everything nicely, knowing well that iske baad marne wale hain. But still he didn't retaliate. And then after eating, they put him on this place where they cut the heads of the animals. And he was now about to be killed. It is all happening in front of Durga Devi, Kali. So as one of the dacoits, he had his chopper in his hand, he was about to cut the head of Jad Bharat. Durga Devi could not tolerate this. Because all these devatas, they are great devotees of the Lord and they like the devotees of the Lord. They never allow anything wrong to happen with the devotees. Kali appeared from that deity. The deity burst open and Kali appeared. And she started cutting off the heads of all these dacoits. And ultimately Jad Bharat, he was relieved and he was on his way again. But he never showed any expressions of happiness or distress. This is the highest level which is given in Bhagavatam. For us, at least we can start practicing. Otherwise, if somebody praises us, Prabhu ji आगे बोली, अच्छा लग रहा है. कभी ना कभी तो कोई बोलता है कुछ, नहीं तो सब लोग तो डांटते ही. So अच्छा लग रहा है. And if somebody insults us, वो प्रभु जी ने क्या बोला था मेरे बारे में बताओ इनको जरा. So we should be equipoised. Learn to give credit to the Guru Parampara. If somebody glorifies us, Accept it, but don't keep it with us. This is all by the mercy of teachers, by Krishna's mercy, by the mercy of Parampara. So that's how we have to understand. Dukkheshu anudvigna sukheshu vigata spriha. So this person is Vita, Raga, Bhaya and Krodha. He is beyond this fear, attachment and anger. This person is Sthitadhi Muni. So Prabhupada in the purport focuses on this word Muni. Who is a Muni? He says Muni is a person who can think from different angles of vision. They'll keep on thinking differently. For example, if there is a fruit on a tree branch and a bird came and sat on the branch, and as soon as the bird sat on the branch, the fruit fell from the branch. So, why the fruit fell? It was ripe already, okay? Or what can be the other reason? Why fruit fell? Gravity. Or because the bird sat and the branch moved and the fruit fell. So that is Muni. अलग अलग प्रकार से सोच रहे हैं कि क्या होगा. Somebody may say, well, this is completely unrelated thing. पता गिर गया होगा अपने आप. क्या फर्क पड़ता है? So Muni means he can go on analyzing indefinitely what is the problem, why this is happening. But who is Sthita Dhi Muni? Sthita Dhi Muni means he doesn't analyze using his own intelligence. He takes shelter of Krishna. He takes shelter of Bhagavad Gita. I will not analyze the world by my own intelligence because my intelligence is corrupted. I cannot analyze things properly. I will see what Bhagavad Gita says. Sthita Dhi Muni. So therefore this verse tells us tolerate the urges of the mind. Mind is a very, very difficult thing to control. Mind can give 100 reasons why not to chant tomorrow. Mind can give 101 reasons why not to go for Gita class today. हर हफ्ते तो जाते हैं और वही बोरिंग चीज तो सुनाते हैं प्रभु जी. तो फिर एक दिन नहीं जाएंगे तो क्या फर्क पड़ता है. नेक्स्ट टाइम पे वही सुनना है तो क्या फर्क पड़ रहा है. आज नहीं जाएंगे. एनीवेज आई एम टू टायर्ड नाउ. आई विल रीड एट होम. पक्का 1 घंटा आई विल रीड भगवद गीता एट होम. एंड एज सून एज यू सिट विद बुक भगवद गीता अ फोन कॉल विल कम. नया मूवी निकला है, चलेंगे क्या? एंड ऑल योर भगवद गीता स्टडी इज इन ट्रैश. दैट्स हाउ आवर माइंड इज. कल एग्जाम है और आज पढ़ रहे हैं. फ्रेंड कम्स एंड सेज नया मूवी निकला है रे, फर्स्ट क्लास में देख के आया अभी, चल देख के आते हैं. बोले नहीं बहुत पढ़ना है. बोले अरे पढ़ना तो यार साल भर पढ़ ही रहा था ना. And your mind will convince सच में you go see that movie फिर फ्रेश होके अच्छे से पढ़ेंगे. रात बची है पढ़ने के लिए और क्या. And as you are sitting in the movie theater, what the mind says? This is not like कल एग्जाम है और मूवी देख रहे तू. That's how mind is. So we have to understand that to control the urges of the mind is a very heavyweight champion. And if we are not sufficiently empowered, then mind will really pound us. So we have to understand, we have to become stronger. As the first verse of Ishopanishad, Nectar of Instruction says, Vacho Vegam, Manasa Krodha Vegam. Control the urge to speak, control the urges of the mind, control the urges of anger, belly, genitals, all these angers we have, all these urges we have to control. Sthita Dhi Muni Uchyate. You know, the best way to protect ourselves from absorption, from agitation, is absorption. Be absorbed in Krishna and you will be protected from agitation. if we are absorbed, then whatever is happening besides us, we don't even recognize sometimes. Any of you have experienced this? You are talking to some of your close friends and something happened and you didn't even notice because you are absorbed in talking. That is absorption, which protects us from the agitation of this world. So that is the absorption we have to develop by regular practice of Krishna consciousness. Dukkheshu anudigramana. How this will happen? Get absorbed in Krishna. We have heard the story of Chitraketu. Chitraketu was such a wonderful, powerful king. He was actually Vidyadhar. Vidyadhar means he is one of the celestial denizens. He had his personal plane. One time he was flying on the top of Kailash, he was passing by. He had his wife and he sees a very amusing scene. Lord Shiva is giving a discourse on renunciation to all the sages and Mother Parvati is sitting on his lap. So Chitraketu, he smiled, thinking that only Lord Shiva can do this. Giving a lecture on renunciation while embracing one's wife. So he was smiling and Lord Shiva didn't mind it. Parvati, she became offended and she said, "Who has given you rights to correct shameless people like us? Do you think you are more civilized than us? You are behaving like uncivilized demon. I curse you that you become a demon." And it is not the curse of ordinary lady of this world. This is a curse of Mother Parvati. That means it will come true for sure. So Chitraketu, he comes down. He offers obeisances to Parvati and Lord Shiva and he says, "Mother, I didn't mean it. I didn't want to insult Lord Shiva. I was just amused to see this. But anyways, I will not tell you to take back this curse. Guna pravaha etasmin kah shapa kah anugraha kah swarga narakah kova kim sukham dukkham evava." What is happiness? What is distress? What is heaven? What is hell? It is all modes of nature working. So therefore, I don't mind. Whatever curse you have given, I accept it. And he left. Then Lord Shiva tells Parvati, "Just see, you saw the glory of the devotees of Lord Narayan. Narayan para sarave na kutasyana bibhyati swarga pavarga narakeshu api tulyarth darshinaha." Narayan para means the devotees of Lord Narayan. Na kutasyana bibhyati, they are never fearful in any situations of life. Either they are in swarga or naraka, happiness, distress, same for them. That is the great devotee. That is Dukkeshu Anudvigna Sukheshu Vigataspriya. Srila Prabhupada, he told that Krishna tested me twice. Once by taking away everything from me, another time by giving everything to me. Which is a bigger test? By giving everything. Because in that situation it is easy to forget Krishna. Srila Prabhupada was really tested. He had so many problems when he was a householder. He had a very wonderful business, but nobody was supporting him. He lost many times. One time his factory was burnt. Nobody was supporting him. Then he left his family. His wife was not supporting. His family was not supporting. One time he went to his home and he found his Bhagavatam copy is missing. He asked his wife, "Where is my Bhagavatam copy?" She said, "Actually I needed some tea biscuits. So I gave your Bhagavatam copy in return of that tea biscuit." So Prabhupada became so angry. He said, "You want tea or me?" She thought he is just asking in fun. She said tea. And Prabhupada, he left, never to return. अच्छा हुआ टी मांगा, नहीं तो हम लोग यहाँ पे नहीं होते, हम लोग चाय पी रहे होते. So Prabhupada left. He tried to establish a league of devotees. That didn't work. The lady who was in charge of that place, she did something and she didn't allow this place to be given to Prabhupada. He tried to run Back to Godhead magazine. He had to do so many things. He had to beg for papers. No support. He would sell Back to Godhead magazine on the tea stalls and on the streets. One time he was selling these Back to Godhead and a cow came and hit him. He was on the road unconscious for some time. So many things happened. He went to Vrindavan, no facilities. Then somehow he got a ticket for America on a cargo ship. On the way he had 2 heart attacks, seasickness, so many things. He reached America. He was staying in Bowery East Side, the lowest of the places in America. His typewriter was stolen. Then he moved to New York and there his typewriter was stolen. So many problems. Prabhupada never gave up. Dukkeshu anudvigna. And then after some time, he started getting some followers. Some people would come, they would listen, they didn't understand. They would not understand anything, still they would sit. First of all, Indian, Swamiji. Upar se Bengali. With Bengali, thick Bengali accent, Prabhupada would give class and all these people, all drunk, high on drugs, they would sit for the class. And Swamiji would speak about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Sanatana Goswami. So Sanatana Goswami meets Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Mahaprabhu is instructing. And all these people are taking notes also. Somebody is writing Santan Goswami. Somebody is writing Sonaton. They would only understand one thing. After the class, Prasad is waiting. That's how he started. Many times he would, before he got such people, he would sometimes become really discouraged. He would go to the dockyards and would inquire, when is the next boat to India? And many times he would ask. So this captain of that ship, he would ask, Swamiji, you are coming and asking every time, but when are you going? You never go back. So Prabhupada later told, I would just pacify myself by asking the train, the ship timings. That okay, ship is there, I can go back anytime. But he never went. So that was the dedication of Prabhupada. Dukkeshu anudvigna manaha sukheshu vigata spriha. And when he got so many things, so many disciples, still he was the same humble person. Prabhupada said, I have rooms which are like palaces. All his disciples, they made wonderful palaces for Prabhupada with all the facilities. But Prabhupada would say, my heart longs for those small rooms of Radha Damodar temple in Vrindavan. Some of us must have seen those Radha Damodar temple rooms where Prabhupada would stay. So that is a pure devotee. That is Sthita Pragya. Dukkeshu anudvigna manaha sukheshu vigata spriha. He is not affected by anything of this world. Vita raga, not attached to matter. He is not thinking about the happiness in the present. He is not thinking about the happiness in the future. Vita raga means I am not desiring happiness in future. Vita bhaya means I am not fearful of distress which will come in future. Whatever comes, it is Krishna's mercy. Vita raga, Vita bhaya, Vita krodha. Vita krodha means I will not become angry on the person who is giving me distress. That is Sthita Pragya. So that is a pure devotee of the Lord. Prabhupada writes, for the service of the Lord, he is always daring and active and is not influenced by attachment or aversion. Attachment means accepting things for one's own sense gratification And detachment is absence of such sensual attachment. So devotee is not concerned about his own enjoyment. Whatever I'll get, I'll use it in Krishna's service. So Prabhupada was fearless. Vita bhaya. Vita raga. Vita bhaya. 70 years old man. Going alone on a cargo ship to a completely unknown place with nobody who is known person, no money. How can somebody be such fearless? Vita bhaya. Completely dependent on Krishna. And on the way he had 2 heart attacks. He didn't land on Boston Harbor and said, डॉक्टर किधर है? पहले कार्डियोलॉजिस्ट को दिखाना पड़ेगा. उसके बाद आगे कर जाएंगे. He was completely fearless. Vita bhaya. So fearlessness means I depend on Krishna and whatever Krishna desires for me, it will happen. Mare Krishna rakhe ke, rakhe Krishna mare ke. So that is Prabhupada. Vita bhaya. Vita krodha. Vita krodha means he never becomes angry out of frustration. One time Prabhupada was in one place and devotees were doing installation. They had made a wonderful altar and entire reporter, all the newspaper reporters were there. And the curtain is on. And then these devotees realized the altar is, the deities are bigger than the altar. So abhi kya kare? So now with the curtain on, these devotees are cutting the altar. And the pillars of altar are going out. So reporters are filming that also, thinking that this is a part of procession. And Prabhupada is shouting on the devotees, all of you are good for nothing. How can you do this blunder? And one hippie, he tells, Swamiji, why are you angry? Chant Hare Krishna and be happy. So Prabhupada, and he gives his bead, please chant Hare Krishna. Swamiji, relax. So Prabhupada, he took that bead and he chanted one round. So Vita krodha, Prabhupada would never become angry out of frustration. His anger was to serve Krishna better. His anger is not because of frustration. We become angry when things don't go the way we want. So that is a devotee. Vita raga bhaya krodha statadhi muniruchyate. Okay, so I'll stop here. Any questions anybody has? Okay, so we'll stop here. Thank you very much. Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai.